Remember the disaster that was the WWE 2K19 $1 million challenge, where you could potentially win $1 million before taxes if you could defeat the $1 million tower and submit a video showing that you had defeated it, cutting a promo. If your video was good enough, you would be chosen to go into the semifinals at WrestleMania Access, where you'd compete in a tournament. And if you won that tournament, you would go to the finals at NXT TakeOver during the pre-show, and you would face AJ Styles one-on-one in WWE 2K19. And if you defeat AJ Styles, you would then become a millionaire. Yeah, it sounds great in theory, but it became a complete disaster with everybody on the internet calling them out about it. What do you do when you have a marketing budget and you need to spend a lot of money really fast? You do a $1 million challenge. The idea was that you would complete a very hard game mode, you'd go on to be in a tournament, you'd go face AJ Styles, and if you beat him, you'd be a millionaire at the end of the day. Well, we can look back at what 2K did in the past with the MLB $1 million challenge, and we'll see how that didn't work out very, very good for them. In the MLB $1 million challenge, you had to pitch a perfect game. You would go into a game mode, you'd do one of the games that they had set up, and if you got a perfect pitch game, you'd get a score based off its difficulty, and you'd rank, and then you could go potentially have a $1 million perfect pitch game. The problem was there was exploits, and people found loopholes in the rules, and they should have looked at that with 2K because, wow, what a thing to look at.
Yeah, there was cheating. Of course there was. That's like if I asked if the sun was going to come up tomorrow. Like all good virtual beef, this one starts on internet forums. 2K forums, if you want to be exact. Young met William Haft and started to exchange text messages. Haft would inform Young of an exploit in a game where you can essentially take out the best players of the opposing team, thus making this challenge significantly easier.
Let's do it all over again with WWE 2K19, and let's make another controversy, because there was one in WWE 2K19. What exactly was the AJ Styles $1 million tower? Well, the towers were implemented into the game as sort of a challenge mode. There was different obstacles you had to do. You'd go through a certain number of matches, so there'd be a certain set of rules, and then what you would do is you would earn something at the end of it. And it was a cool little bonus here that had DLC ones, and they had regular ones, and they had the AJ Styles $1 million tower one. If you could do that, then you would have to make a video. Then you could go to NXT TakeOver and fight AJ Styles. If you did all this, you beat a tournament, blah, 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 blah. You know the rules. But this tower was very difficult. There was 15 different matches on legend difficulty, and the health between the matches did not regenerate in the tower. So you'd be kind of beaten up, and it would kind of stink, and you'd be kind of at a loss for that, which kind of sucked. But as the tower progressed, it got harder and harder and harder until you fought Golden AJ Styles, which to me, that wasn't the hardest match. There was actually one with Carl Anderson where he would hit the gun stun really fast, which is sort of like an RKO, but even faster than RKO out of nowhere. So it was hard to reverse. I remember there was a Brock Lesnar match that was very, very hard. So there were some very, very hard matches. But if you could just do that, you could get through that without even entering the contest, you could get Golden AJ Styles, which was a cool unlockable reward. And that is cool just to prove, hey, I did this tower. Look, I have Golden AJ Styles. The cool thing about the Golden AJ Styles is every time you wrestled, he would go ding, 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 because he was gold. So that was pretty fun. I did figure out, though, as I was playing this $1 million tower, that there was a lot of cheese you could do if you used AJ Styles for the $1 million tower. One thing you could do is the Pele kick, and that was almost not reversible by the computer. Yes, they would reverse it certain times, but you could just keep doing the Pele kick, and then they would kick him in the head, and then what you could do is you could ground stomp. So what a ground stomp is where you stomp your opponent when they're on the ground. Well, back in the day, there was 3 ground stomps. So what would happen is you would do 3 ground stomps, and then your opponent would stand up. Well, in this game, that didn't happen. You could just stomp, 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 and then they'd get up eventually. Then what you could do, Pele kick, stomp, 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 Pele kick, stomp, 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 Pele kick, stomp, 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 Pele kick, stomp, 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 until you get your special, hit your special, and go for that win. Pretty interesting theory in how it worked, it actually did work out very well. You'd have to get your reversals down sometimes because it was very difficult. But the other thing was that you had to do it in one sitting, which you could not lose. If you lost, the tower match would be over and you have to start it all over again. So that was very difficult. So do the Pele kick, do the ground stomps, hit your finisher, win the match. There you go. Health didn't really matter. At past a certain point, your health just doesn't matter. You have 0 health. So if you could just keep going, ground stomps, Pele kick, win the match, there it was. So that was the idea there, was to do that, make it all the way to the end, beat AJ Styles, and you had completed that tower and you unlocked the golden AJ Styles. After that, you had to submit a video of yourself challenging AJ Styles to a match, sort of a kind of a pipe package promo, $1 million type thing that you were going to say, I am the best, I beat the tower, here's my score, blah, 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 that kind of thing. So that was the idea there. Make the video, submit it, put it online, and if you are chosen, you will actually go to WrestleMania Access and you will compete to get in a tournament, right? You'll be in the tournament, and if you win that tournament, you will go on to fight AJ Styles at NXT TakeOver. Interesting stuff here, but it is kind of weird because you don't know if you're going to be chosen or not. They literally just take the videos, they look at the videos, they pick the best videos, and they pick the winner off of that. So the challenge had happened, the tournament had happened, and the winner was Stefan T. Benson. Stefan was going to go up against AJ Styles at NXT TakeOver in a match 1-on-1. Before they even got there, there was controversy going on why did Stefan get chosen? Why is he the one there in the spot for this $1 million challenge? Then people started digging. They went to his YouTube channel and they pulled up videos where he was ring announcing superstars coming out to the ring.
Ladies and gentlemen, this contest is scheduled for one fall. Standing to our right, from Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada, weighing 226 pounds, he is the Ayatollah of rock and roll. Ladies and gentlemen, the only man to be alive, and Stone Cold Steve Austin in the same night, to become the first ever undisputed. Ladies and gentlemen, Y2J Cruise Champion!
Yes, this was a very bad look for Stefan because people had assumed, because he's ring announcing superstars to the ring, that he had worked for the WWE. The controversy was there, but nonetheless, he went on to face AJ Styles at NXT TakeOver at the pre-show in a one-on-one match. AJ Styles was, of course, playing as himself, AJ Styles, and Stefan was playing as Brock Lesnar, which is one of the best to play as in the game as far as the stats go. When the match began, AJ Styles taunted in the corner, which I think was a mistake by AJ Styles hitting the D-pad because he's just a gamer who plays retro games and he uses the D-pad all the time. I think he hit that D-pad by mistake, did a corner taunt, Stefan capitalized, and then from there, he did suplex after suplex after suplex after suplex, and AJ Styles just couldn't get the reversal timing down. He did end up reversing one F5, but Stefan came back and ended up beating him again. And he ended up just winning the match. He won the match very easily, and then he became a millionaire after that. This will go down in history as one of the most anticlimactic finals to a $1 million challenge or any video game challenge of all time. There was no contest here. Stefan just won the whole thing. AJ Styles didn't put up a fight, and people didn't like it. The crowd started booing, and then Stefan thought it was fun to try and be a heel here.
And Brooklyn, let him know what you think.
I could still suck, but I'm still rich, unlike all of you.
He's a heel, folks.
You're looking at the best, baby. He may be phenomenal, but I'm golden.
He was trying to play up the heel persona, but I don't think that was a great idea. I think he should have just been humble about it and said, yeah, I just beat AJ Styles. You did a great job. And there it was, but he tried to play it up as a wrestling heel type thing, and I didn't think that was a good look, but that's the route that he chose. This whole thing left a bad taste in people's mouth. Not only was Stefan T. Benson accused of working for the WWE, not only did he make it to the finals, not only did he beat AJ Styles in probably one of the worst showings that AJ Styles has ever performed in a video game ever, but then he won and cut a cocky heel promo. Just a terrible look from all accounts. Fans took to social media claiming it was just one big publicity stunt, and Stephon T. Benson was chosen by the WWE to be their golden boy, pun intended, to win the entire tournament. The final nail in the coffin was the match itself. Benson defeated AJ Styles in just about a minute and a half, which only further fueled the controversy. The quick victory and Benson's background left fans feeling betrayed. The $1 Million Challenge was meant to be a thrilling event and ended up being a complete disaster and left a bad taste in people's mouths of many fans who raised serious doubts about the integrity of the contest, putting 2K in the limelight. I think now 2K wants to forget that the $1 Million Challenge ever happened in the first place. So at the end of the day, this made everybody look bad. It made WWE look bad because their video game looked like it had a controversy. It made 2K look bad because Stephon won it and he might have previously worked for the WWE. It made Stephon look bad because he looked like he was rigged to win the whole thing. And it made AJ Styles look bad because he didn't look very good at video games. He got beat in less than a minute or maybe a minute more. But at the end of the day, we had to figure out the truth. We had to talk to Stephon T. Benson and we had to say, did you work for the WWE? Point blank, did you work for the WWE? Let me know. We also had to ask him, what did you think of the controversy? What did you think of the people that thought that you cheated? And also, what do you think of your match with AJ Styles? And do you think that if you were doing it all over again, would you do that heel persona? Here's what he had to say.
From the moment they announced the challenge last summer during that press conference that they had in June, I said, I'm going to enter this tournament. I'm going to win it. I'm going to win $1 million. I read the rules once they finally released them, the criteria in which they needed the promo video to meet, original, unique, entertaining, and WWE style. And a lot of people, no disrespect to them, just weren't delivering on that. I'm getting a lot of hate online. Some racial, really derogatory comments towards myself. He works for WWE, which I do not. I hope to work for them one day, but I don't. And I think the reason a lot of people are saying that is because I've introduced the likes of Trish Stratus and Ric Flair and others. But that's literally from going to fan access and asking to introduce them, like during the Q&As that they do. That's how I've introduced them, or interview them before the event when they get into the parking lot, when the fans are all waiting for them. My thing is not a photo. I'd like to introduce you, or I'd like to interview. That's the only reason there are videos of me interviewing people. Either that or I go to signings.
To be a heel, or were you just playing off the crowd here? So now looking back in hindsight, do you think that you probably shouldn't have done the heel stuff?
No, I mean, as soon as they start booing me, my thing, just go with the flow. It's kind of, on the fly, go with the flow. Whatever the crowd is kind of putting out, you go with. If you're trying to be nice and they're like booing, you could still continue to kill them with kindness and try to win them over. Or you could, be a heel, be heelish. And I love being a bad guy. It's a lot of fun for me. So it wasn't anything that I wasn't genuinely, it wasn't me being genuinely like, hey, I'm a jerk. It's all part of a show,
Well, there you have it from the horse's mouth. He says that he does not work for the WWE, just a giant fan, and he wanted to enter the contest and win $1 million. I don't know. It looks pretty legit to me, but you guys let me know what your conclusions are after this. What do you think of the entire $1 Million Challenge? But honestly, I will have to conclude that this was a terrible idea for 2K. They'll probably never bring it up again. They should probably never do another $1 Million Challenge. And if you do, you got to pick someone who's not involved with social media to be the face of this contest, because you want that every day, man. The idea that somebody that has nothing wins $1 million because of a video game. Yes, the game mode was fun. The Golden AJ Styles was cool, but to have Stephon T. Benson win it and have a little bit of controversy in there, people will make their own conclusions without listening to an interview. They'll just say, oh yeah, he was a cheater. Game stinks. That's what it was. Looks rigged. It was rigged. People just can come to the conclusion and say, yeah, it was rigged, and they don't even know the real story behind everything. So anyway, let me know your thoughts on the entire thing. Did you enter the $1 Million Challenge? Did you get the Golden AJ Styles, or did you not care about it at all? I'm curious to know. As always, I'm TonyPizzaGuy. Thanks for watching.